Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us in this live discussion that we are having here on LinkedIn and on our social media, in which we're going to officially introduce you to our upcoming CRA conference, CRAConnect Live 2026. And I am super excited to be able to share this with you. I'm so excited to bring members of our team behind CRAConnect Live 2026 that I will introduce to you in a second. And the reason why we thought about having this discussion is because we had so many questions from CRAs all around the world on what's the agenda going to be, who's going to be the speakers, what are the topics that you're going to address at the conference, why should we attend, can we attend, I have this specific role, I'm not a CRA, I'm an SMA, can I join? So we would love to answer all of those questions today and give you all of the details on hotel discounts, on where the location of the conference is, how it's going to look like. All of that is coming in today. So I hope you're as excited about all of these details as I am, as we are, to share these details with you. And just some details perhaps before we begin. And I share my screen and I give you a few details very briefly on our upcoming conference. Because this is a stream video, please feel free to use the chat for questions, for comments, for any more details that you would like us to go into. Perhaps you'd like more details that we haven't even thought about addressing in this live. So feel free to put it on the comments, maybe even just say hello, say where you're from, where you're dialing from, so that we also know who we have here in the audience. I already see some comments coming through. And all of the questions that you post there in the comment section, they will show up on the screen so that we can also address those questions live. So let's begin. As you know, the reason why we are here today is because we want to share with you the upcoming conference dedicated entirely to CRAs, to clinical research associates. And for the first time in the industry, we actually have a conference that is dedicated to us, to CRAs, to SMAs, to monitors, to those core professionals in clinical trials. And this is the place where we will focus entirely on this group of professionals. If you are a CRA or if you work closely with CRAs, you know what a crucial role CRAs play in every single clinical trial, from activating sites to sometimes choosing sites to sometimes prepping sites, starting sites up and making sure that they're ready for that clinical study to begin, helping and supporting recruitment of patients, the monitoring site. There's so much a CRA gets to have an impact on, but up until now, we've never had a dedicated space to us, to CRAs, to monitors, to grow, to connect, to learn, and also to lead, to learn how to have a voice in the clinical research industry. Until now, because as you can see here on the right side of my screen, coming up in May 2026, on the 12th and 13th of May, the first conference dedicated to CRAs is happening. It's going to be in Barcelona for the first time. We're going to host it in Europe, and it's going to be 250 CRAs, so 250 of us all over the world. It's not limited just to European CRAs, but of course, we understand that it's not as easy to hop from another continent to our conference, because the first time it's happening in Europe, but that doesn't mean we will not bring it to other continents as well in the future. But if you're interested and really excited to come to our conference in Barcelona, even if you're from another continent, you're more than welcome, and we will absolutely welcome you with open arms. Now, who's behind CRAConnect Live? And perhaps this is the first time that you hear about CRAConnect. Maybe it just popped on your screen and you're curious about why, when, what CRAConnect is. And CRAConnect is currently the leading hub for clinical research associates, and we focus on education and we focus on networking, empowering this group of professionals that sit at the core of clinical trial operations. And if you've been following us maybe on LinkedIn or on YouTube or on Instagram, we have joined together over 45,000 CRAs on our social platforms, which I would say it tells you what a big professional group we are within the clinical research industry. And it's so exciting to see so many of us. And if you've learned about our private community, our educational community, CRAConnect community, where we have over 1,000 members, and we learn from master classes, from webinars, from courses. We have a mentorship program, we have a job board, we have a resource section and a discussion section where we have this place to connect, to support each other, to mentor each other. And speaking about the mentorship program, we have here Charlotte is one of the mentors in the here in the panel in the mentorship program, and we'll begin a new cycle that starts every 3 months on the 15th of November, so in 3 days. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to also have a look. Now, I also want to introduce you to the team behind CRAConnect. We are a team of 8 CRAs or supporting roles or related roles to CRAs. And from our team, we have here in the panel with me, we have Kitty, Audrey, and Charlotte. And I would love to have the team introduce themselves. So Kitty, may I start by you? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course. Thank you, Maria. I'm really, really happy to be here and to have this huge conversation. So I'm Kitty from Hungary, and now I am working as an assistant clinical project manager, but a former in-house CRA and study startup associate. I am really, really grateful and excited about this conference because I think it's a very, very huge step for us as a clinical professionals.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Kitty. And we're so looking forward to meet you in person in Barcelona in May. Charlotte, may we continue with you?
Yeah, hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm a senior CRA based in the UK. I've been in the clinical trials industry for about 6 years now, currently working for a medical device company specializing in breast cancer. And yeah, I'm super excited for the conference as well. I think it's going to be amazing, even if we just get to meet each other. It's going to be such an amazing event that I think everyone should jump on and join if they can.
Absolutely. And I'm also so looking forward to also have you perhaps in one of the panel discussions in our conference where we get to speak about challenges of the CRA role, of those pains that we have being clinical research professionals in this industry. Audrey,
Hi.
would you like to
Hi,
introduce?
everyone.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. My name is Audrey. I'm a CRA in a CRO company based in Switzerland. I'm still quite new in this industry, which makes it even more exciting to be part of this organizing team for next year conference. And yeah, I'm very looking forward for what you're going to share to us tonight, Maria. That's going to be very exciting to hear.
Thank you for telling us about yourself, but also for being part of this organization team behind CRAConnect and helping us put this together. And I also love that our team has all of the diverse experiences that CRAs have. We have from more junior CRAs who get to learn and get to get insights and to develop and to grow. And we also have more senior CRAs like Charlotte. We have lead CRAs. We have even supporting a role or related roles or former CRAs such as Kitty and even myself. So okay, let's get into it because I am so excited about all of the details that we're going to share briefly, very briefly today. So as you know, we're going to join together in Barcelona, Spain on the 12th and 13th of May for 2 days, 48 hours, 250 attendees, 32 speakers, experts from the industry, CRAs, lead CRAs, clinical operations managers, heads of recruitment, all sorts of speakers, experts in the industry, coming from all the stakeholders that we have in a clinical trial, from CRO, sponsor, recruitment, technology providers, and supporting services as well. Now, I know what you're excited about. You're probably looking forward at what's the agenda? What's it going to look like? So let's go straight into that. Our plan is to have 2 full days that will focus on mainly 2 elements. The first one is going to be empowering CRAs through presentations, workshops, and discussions. And we'll share insights about not only the CRA role, but also about the industry, about technology, about the CTs, about how innovation is affecting not only our industry, but also our role. So finally, we bring that discussion about the industry insights to us directly to the CRAs. And the second element that we'll focus on is networking. We want to provide a full afternoon space, and you'll see that on day 2 in the afternoon, where we will have a 2-hour activity only focusing on networking. And our conference app allows us to match make with other attendees, with other speakers, with sponsors, with recruiters, with technology providers, and connect, meet for 15 minutes. Maybe you want to discuss, maybe you want to share knowledge, maybe you want to just meet each other, maybe you want to make connections, or maybe you're even looking for an opportunity that somebody else there in the industry is in the conference is recruiting for. So that's the plan. We also have 3 tracks, 3 topics that we're learning about. What does that mean? It does not mean that our conference will split into rooms and you will have to choose between going to a session in one track or going to another session in another track. No, we will only have one, let's say, main hall where everybody will have access to all of the sessions, so that we don't lose any information or any presentation and we can access all of them. The first track is going to be presentations, discussions, and sessions about where is the CRA role going. How is DCTs, remote tools, the evolving regulation, how is this impacting our role as CRAs? The second track, so the second group of topics, is going to be sort of helping us to plug into the industry. What I mean by that is we have very different stakeholders, right? In a clinical trial, we have CRO, we have the study team, we have the sponsor, we have the sites. So usually the CRA kind of sits in between all of these stakeholders. So the important part is that we somehow, and bear with me this analogy, but we plug into the industry so that we learn what are the expectations from each stakeholder. How can I have a great relationship with each stakeholder? What's expected of me? Also, what can I expect of the stakeholders as well? And open this conversation for a collaboration. The third track, so the third topic group, is going to be around all of the skills and competencies and knowledge a CRA needs, not only to be a CRA, but to be a successful CRA, and also to begin to learn those skills to lead as a clinical research professional. Those are the 3 learning tracks that we will have at the conference. And probably, if I am not wrong, you will say, that's great, fantastic, show me the sessions. So we took some time into preparing and confirming, of course, with already some speakers that we have confirmed at the conference. And this is the agenda. And I know there are here many sessions, and it might take a little bit of time to see session by session what it's going to be about. And I'd be more than happy to share this slide with everyone and anyone who's interested into the conference. I can share it with you. Just drop me a DM afterwards or an email. You'll see my email in the last slide of this presentation. And I would love to just very briefly take you through what are the sessions at the upcoming CRAConnect Live 2026. So on day 2, besides, of course, having a registration time and a bit of networking and coffee break at the beginning, we will begin with an opening keynote on the CRA role in 2026. Are we ready for what's next? how is the CRA role shaping. And I'm very excited about this session because it's going to give us insights into what can we expect from the CRA role in the upcoming years. Then we're going to have a first panel discussion about oversight of our clinical trials today. Can we still have a collaboration? Does it still work to have on one side risk-based management, then we have AI, then we have humans, us doing monitoring, and then we have so many tools. Does this soup work, and is it effective, and can we make it work together? Then we'll have a break, a coffee break and networking, and then follows into the session number 2 of the morning, where we will learn about what's really changing in monitoring. How is decentralization, hybrid visits, remote clinical trials, how is it impacting the CRA role, and what do we need to learn and know in order to monitor these studies? Then we will move into a session number 3, and we will learn about what are the sponsor expectations from CRAs in 2026. We rarely have much contact directly with sponsors in clinical trials, but because of evolving industry and evolving role, the expectations of what CRAs should be doing on how we should monitor our clinical studies are also changing. And I'm really looking forward to this session to learn more about how can I, as a CRA, deliver an excellent job monitoring my clinical studies? And that takes us to a lunch break, and then we go over to another session in the afternoon, opening the afternoon by redesigning CRA oversight, what support should look like. And by that, if I read correctly the abstract, and I remember it correctly, this session is about the support that a CRA should be receiving from both CRO, and sponsor, and what the CRA oversight should be of our sites and of our clinical studies. It's a very exciting session. Then we move on to another panel discussion in which we will speak about technology versus the human eye, the human insight, the human monitoring. Can they coexist? Perhaps you have been aware of several tools that are already looking into monitoring data with AI or with remote tools that can already look into certain data. But we still need humans, the human eye, for many aspects, such as critical thinking and behavior and trend spots. So are they coexisting? Will they coexist? Very, very exciting session. Then we'll have an afternoon break. Then we will have another panel discussion on burnout, balance, and the emotional reality of CRA work. A very, very important session, especially if you want to build a career as a CRA, which will come with perhaps more complex study or more studies at the same time. And how do we avoid that burnout that most of us fear and dread? And then we will have some closing remarks. And of course, we will end day 1 with some drinks, with some networking, and enjoying the beautiful weather in Barcelona on a May day in 2026. So how does this first day sound, Audrey? What do you think? Which session are you most excited about?
It's hard to choose, to be honest. They all very exciting, and I think they all make so much sense. Our role is evolving so fast. So I think it will be very interesting to know what is a CRA in 2026, and also to learn more about the new tools and how we can actually leverage in our daily job. So
absolutely,
lots of interesting topics.
Indeed, I think so too. I loved when I saw the abstracts that I was receiving for the conference, because it looked to me as we are empowering the next generation of CRAs, and by that I don't mean the CRAs that will come after us, but the today CRAs and the new version of CRAs, because now with innovation and with technology, the CRA role is evolving. That there's no discussion around that. So this conference and the topics that we're learning about will empower us to do exactly that, to learn what are the tools and what is the knowledge I should have and I should know, so that I am empowered, I do a great job, I'm efficient, I succeed at being a CRA and at monitoring my clinical studies.
Totally.
And that takes us to day 2. And now I'm seeing also the chat. Up until now, I was covering the chat with the slides. So hello, everyone. If I've missed any comments or any questions, please put it again into the chat, because now they are popping up. Any questions that you might have, now I can see it. So great. Let's move on to day 2 of the conference. What's the plan for day 2? And day 2 is very exciting, because we are going to focus during the first part of the day on still learning and on still getting insights and discussions. And we will have lots and lots of sessions, such as we start with session number 5, monitoring with ownership, which is empowering CRAs to lead the future of clinical research. This is a very exciting sessions that when I saw the details about this session, it's so exciting to also learn what are those leadership skills that help us own our studies, that help us own our responsibilities and take ownership over our role. Really exciting. After that, also in the afternoon, we will have another session on the soft skills that a CRA needs to have, those skills that we need to develop, those boundaries, those trust. How do we build trust with our sites? How do we build trust with our sponsors, with our CROs? How do we get better at communicating, not just written communication, verbal communication, communication with all stakeholders? Such a key core soft skill when it comes to the CRA. Communication is probably the top one skill that a CRA needs to succeed. That takes us to the second half of the morning on day 2, where we will, this session is super exciting. I so look forward to this session. We will learn about career growth in clinical research, from visits, so from first visits, from your first day, let's say, as a CRA, to leadership. How do you grow a career? And this session is with a speaker who has grown a career in clinical research over 20 years and has focused a lot on recruitment as well. So I'm looking really forward to learn, how do we build a successful and also a durable career when it comes to clinical research. And then, of course, we will have another panel discussion before lunch, in which we will discuss, do CRAs still matter in a tech-first world? It is a reality that technology is more and more important. Even ICH, GCP, E6 are R3. I always make this switch between E6, R3, R3X6. You know what I mean? The latest version of ICH GCP, even that regulation encourages sponsors to include and to embrace and ask to embrace technology as much as possible. So how are we going to stay relevant, and our job stays relevant as monitors and as CRAs in a tech-first world? Very exciting. Then we'll have a lunch break. And here comes also, I was going to say the exciting part, but it's also an exciting part, not just an exciting part. This second half of the second day is going to be a networking lounge. So we will pause our sessions for a little while, for a couple of hours. And in those 2 hours, we will all have the chance to meet with other attendees, with the speakers, with sponsors, with recruiters, with technology providers, with everyone there attending the conference. And these sessions, you can schedule them ahead of time. You can filter, once you are in the conference app, you can filter through the attendees on what you're interested in. Are you interested in networking? Are you interested in perhaps finding a mentor or finding a mentee because you want to practice those mentorship and leadership skills? Maybe you want to find other CRAs in your region. Maybe you want to speak with one of the speakers because the topic is so exciting and you want to learn more about. Or maybe there's an opportunity that you saw on our marketplace, because the conference app will have a job board and projects that are recruiting will be posted there. And maybe you want to, ahead of time, book 15 minutes with that person. All of this matchmaking activity can be done before the conference begins, perhaps in the 3, 4, 5 weeks before the conference, once we're all on the app. And then during those 2 hours, just book your 15-minute slots to make every single conversation count. And with that, we're going to the final session, where that's the closing keynote, and we're going to speak about the future. What does the future of the industry hold for the CRAs, for the CRA role? So, Kitty, what do you think? How does this sound to you?
It sounds amazing. You know me, I have two favorite topics. On the second day, especially, is one of AI, and the second one is the soft skills. And
Mhm.
I think it will be a huge plus for the attendees to have these two conversations. And of course, the other part is the networking. I
Yeah,
I can say it's a very very huge help for everyone if you have a buddy or someone who can lead you or help you even from a different country. So the
yeah,
networking is a very very huge plus.
yeah.
So I am really really excited. And unfortunately, I saw many advertising for CRA roles that they are not highlighting the soft skills like
Yeah,
communication, which is a
yeah.
huge key for being a good CRA. Of course,
For
they are highlighting the detail-oriented part or everything else, but the communication, I think, the key to have a good relationship with the sites. And and of course, with the operational team from the CRO or from the sponsor, wherever you're working. So I think that would be fantastic if you can attend, if even if you are just a clinical professional from another job or anything else. So
Mm,
yeah, if you can do that and you can attend, or you can also encourage others to join, or that would be fantastic, because this is the first one and hope that will be others as well.
absolutely. Oh, we are sure of it. We are absolutely sure of it. But we're so excited to have the first one and to get together so many CRAs and to finally get to learn about these topics that usually, we speak about the industry, we speak about trends of where the industry is going, how's it impacted by DCTs, by technology, by AI, in so many conferences that CRAs don't get access to. So bringing these topics, bringing this conversation now to CRAs specifically is also a very, very exciting space where now we finally have this space for us.
Yes,
And and that brings us to final details that I wanted to share with you. Well, this is great, but where is it happening? Where? Tell me more. I'm sure that you're wondering, where is this? What's the location of our conference? So we chose for the location of the first CRA conference in Europe in Barcelona. Barcelona, for those who probably maybe you are not from this specific location, it's a thriving, growing hub for clinical research, for innovation, and for international collaboration when it comes to clinical trials. There's a huge ecosystem of pharmaceutical companies, of CROs, of biotech, of huge hospitals, main sites, and also great network sites networks. So it is becoming one of the most important clinical trial hubs in Europe. And if by any chance through your mind goes the thought of, oh, but I don't live in Spain, therefore it's not relevant to me, that is absolutely not true, because remember, this is an international industry where you can be hired from another hub. You can be part of another hub. Probably if you're a CRA, you have colleagues CRAs from all around the world, and in your team you have CRAs in every country, and your study manager most likely will not even be in the country that you are in. So we want to bring you all to, why not, a beautiful location, a great warm location in May, so that you can also maybe extend for the weekend and enjoy a little bit of sun in May in Spain. And our conference room is in a culturally known and very important hub here in Barcelona, and will have a very, I would say, innovative, bold, modern conference hall that also resonates with us, with the CRAs, with the young CRAs, with the brave CRAs, with the passionate CRAs, with the committed group of professionals that we are. So once you register for the conference, you will get all of the details, and you will also see that we've partnered with 2 hotel chains here in Barcelona that are also offering discounts for those members who want to book a hotel through our partnership. Of course, if you also decide that you want to go through other options such as Airbnbs, you can do that. We actually also are going to provide with a group for those CRAs who perhaps your company, your CRO, or maybe your sponsor is not covering the cost of this conference. Although, if you can, please use your employee development budget on this conference. We all should have an annual employee budget. But if that's not the case, we will even provide a group that perhaps you can contact with other attendees, CRAs, and even look for a shared bigger location where you can stay for those days, and perhaps even limit the costs of this conference. Having said that, what is the cost of the conference? Because we also want to be fully transparent about that. At the moment, we have opened just 10 days ago early bird tickets, and these are available until November the 30th, so just this month. And we're doing that because in just 12 days that we're open, we've already covered 20% capacity of our conference, and there's still 6 months left. So what we will do is, because we're limited in the amount of people we can have at the conference, the hall only allows for 250, no more than that. When we cover our seats, unfortunately, we will be sold out. So if you are considering attending the conference, make sure that you benefit from this early bird ticket that is available only this month. If you are coming with groups, such as perhaps your team, because you are in a CRA team and your line manager is covering these costs, or your company is covering these costs, contact me, because then I will directly send you a link for a group ticket. And this has happened already several times, in which several CROs and site networks have purchased group tickets for their CRAs. So if that's the case, please first come directly to me so that you can get that group ticket code. Therefore, we have 160 tickets remaining from the 250. So I would really, really recommend that if you're interested into joining, have a look at it now. You have here the link, CRAConnectLive.com. If you have any questions, any doubts that you'd like to maybe first clarify, you can always send an email to hello@CRAConnect.so. And finally, we're still open for sponsorships, partnerships, also speakers, because we want our conference to be as collaborative as possible. So maybe you are a site network, or maybe you are a sponsor, maybe you are a CRO who's looking to empower this core professional group of CRAs, then you are more than welcome to just reach out to us, and we will welcome you as a partner of CRAConnect Live 2026. Charlotte, are you excited? How does this sound?
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait until the conference. It feels like ages away, but I'm sure the time will fly. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant, and it's going to be so great to meet everybody, network, learn more about the industry from the CRA perspective, which I don't know about you, but I've never seen that before. We don't often get that. So it'd be great for us as CRAs to see how we can impact the industry, start making changes from our unique job role perspective, which again is often overlooked in other conferences. So yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, same. It's exactly the same reasons why we're looking forward. And we've also come up with this concept of bringing now the knowledge to us. We will be together for these 2 days, and we will try to put together concisely all the information we need to succeed, to be the professionals that is expected of us to be, but also to know what we can expect from the industry. How's our career going to look like? How's the industry affecting and impacting, and how's innovation impacting our role as well? Because information and knowledge and the competencies and the skills is going to be the most important aspect of succeeding in this role. Having
even better that it's in such a beautiful location as well. Like you said, I'm definitely extending the stay. I'm going to be in Barcelona for a couple of days after.
As you should. Well
Yeah.
done. Really well done. And I'm really so looking forward to meet everyone in person. It's so good always to connect, especially we're in such a virtual world, in a remote working environment, where when you get to put a face to that name or to that video or to that avatar, sort of, it's you build such a great network and such a great connection and relationship when you get to meet in person. So then, if there's any questions from the audience, if you'd like to know more details, our website is up. Our team will put the agenda up on the website as soon as possible. This is the first time that we're actually sharing the agenda officially with you. So if you're looking forward to more details on the agenda, if you want to know specifically the speakers will be released and announced one by one as we get closer and closer to the conference dates. As Charlotte said, there's still a few months left. Absolutely. Planning a conference takes some time, but because it's the first time we're doing the conference and seats are quite limited, I would highly encourage, if this is something you want to invest in your growth, in your career, don't wait, because I genuinely don't want to have to say, unfortunately, we'll full for the year come next year, because that is something that would kind of break my heart to have to say. But having said that, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Kitty, for joining me in this official discussion about CRAConnect Live 2026. Thank you for being part of the organizing team, for being so passionate about this, and also for I'm really looking forward to meeting you in Barcelona in May 2026. And everyone else here in the audience, please feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on our email, through our website, because we will absolutely love to get to meet you. I see there's some questions around volunteering opportunities. Please do reach out to me via email. I'm sure that we can figure something out as we are getting closer to the date, and we'll need more and more help and support. Christina says, things all sounds great. Absolutely. I'm so looking forward to also meet you in person, Christina, at the conference, and everyone else. And yeah, thank you for joining us live. And until the next one, because I'm sure that we will do another one with more and more details as they come in. Thank you, everyone. Thank you also to the panel.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, everyone. Have a nice evening.
Bye.